In the top stories, Supervisor of Elections issues call for polling station volunteers. Nevis to host Restaurant Week tasting showcase on Saturday, and new teachers pre-service training wraps up. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Seriously, there's a better way to beat the heat. Get an air conditioning unit at Courts, starting at $1,299. Get free installation on your purchase. Plus, with Ready Finance, you can shop now and pay nothing for 60 days. Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. Supervisor of Elections Elvin Bailey is calling for volunteers to fill certain positions at polling stations across St. Kitts. In an interview with ZIZ News on Friday, Mr. Bailey explained what positions need to be filled and what the duties will cover.
There is the presiding officer, and there's a presiding officer for each polling station. And we will have 2 poll clerks assigned. One will be writing in the book at any one time, the poll book. The other will be assisting with the flow of traffic and the sanitization where it is required. And that is what we require at the polling station: the presiding officer and 2 poll clerks, so 3 persons.
He explained that previously they had the required number of persons, but due to various reasons, persons have dropped out.
There's still a few spaces left. As a matter of fact, I had a correspondence from one of the constituencies recently asking me to come and do some training for persons who have just come in, because persons who were already scheduled have dropped out. So it's a bit of both. It's a bit that people are leaving because they have to go somewhere else to travel, and therefore we have to have new people in, and it's always good to do the training. It's better to have more people than we need than to have less than we need.
Mr. Bailey said interested persons can contact the electoral office at 467-1610 or visit them in person. He said training sessions will be held in the coming weeks. Mr. Bailey also said there is a small payment attached to the polling station position. As part of activities for Restaurant Week 2022, the Ministry of Tourism on Nevis will host its tasting showcase on Saturday at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism in Nevis, John Hanley, said the objective of the tasting showcase is to give members of the public an opportunity to sample the tasty selections on offer at the various restaurants and beverage sponsors participating in Restaurant Week. Mr. Hanley said the event will run from 2 to 5 p.m. and tickets for the tasting showcase are $30. Tickets can be purchased at the reception desk in the Visitor Center at the MGRP, the Nevis Tourism Authority, and the Ministry of Tourism's main office at the Social Security Building. Tickets will allow patrons to sample offerings from each restaurant and beverage sponsor. Each person will receive a passport, which includes the names of all the sponsors, and for each sample one receives, the sponsor will then check off that establishment. The annual St. Kitts and Nevis Restaurant Week is a celebration of local cuisine when restaurants will offer special menus based on a local theme ingredient at fixed special prices. This year's featured local ingredient is sweet potato. Restaurant Week runs from July 14th to 24th, 2022. The 2022 pre-service training for prospective teachers wrapped up on Friday with a ceremony at the Immaculate Conception Catholic School. Addressing the prospective teachers, Chief Education Officer Francil Morris outlined the importance of educators and offered words of encouragement.
A teacher's support is extremely critical to support students along their journey towards unscaled heights. It is my sincere hope that once you are selected to be a teacher within the Ministry of Education, that as prospective teachers, that you will demonstrate the same enthusiasm I saw during these 2 weeks. If it is your true desire to teach, never give up upon your pursuit to being a part of this noble profession.
He reminded them of the responsibilities of a teacher.
I want you to remember that as an educator, you must always have that desire to support and encourage your students. As our Education Act reminds us, as one of our first duties or responsibilities of a teacher, and that is the first A that says, a teacher is responsible for encouraging students in their pursuits. I want to wish you the very best in your endeavors, knowing that, as I indicated before, we may not have spaces for all persons at this time, but at some time, once a space becomes available, you will be contacted.
Each prospective teacher will undergo an interview with the Ministry of Education to decide who will be chosen as teachers for the new academic year. The 2-week training ran from July 5th to 14th and was guided by the theme Education for All, Embracing Change, Securing the Future. SKNLP supporters took to the streets of Bastia on Friday afternoon for the second staging of what has been dubbed the Freedom March. The march was organized by the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and according to a previous press release, participants were invited to march for a better St. Kitts and Nevis. According to a participant, while the march was organized by the Labour Party, it was open to everyone who wished to take part. A similar march was held on July 1st. After the break, Kittishan Desi Brown participates in U.S.-sponsored leadership program, and students encouraged to study specific subjects in high school. Stay with us.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today.
Mommy, where did you get all these groceries from?
When my mom was a child, my grandma was only able to provide just what they needed. When my mom got older, she was then able to provide what they needed and some. But now, with FlexPay, I am able to get everything we need and lots more with cashback.
Wow, Mom, I hope this never ends.
For the last 25 years, SN Hospice Company Limited has given customers millions in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cashback.
Welcome back. The United States Embassy to St. Kitts and Nevis has announced that Kittishan entrepreneur Desi Brown, founder and managing director of Poise SKN and the Brown Pen, has been selected to participate in the U.S. Department of State's International Visitor Leadership Program, IVLP, from July 18th to August 5th for women entrepreneurs. In a press release issued on Friday, the embassy stated that Ms. Brown will travel to Washington, D.C. and several other states during the 3-week-long program. The IVLP is the Department of State's premier professional exchange program, which brings together emerging leaders in their respective professions to learn how U.S. experts in this profession operate and to share best practices with the other program fellows. On this program, Ms. Brown will examine examples of entrepreneurial efforts in the United States, particularly those initiated or managed by women, explore the essential role of non-governmental and grassroots organizations in supporting and empowering the development of women-owned businesses, and examine strategies for job creation. Pursuing tertiary education is a challenging goal that can be made much easier if there are specific subjects that students choose during high school. That strategy was strongly advocated for by Dr. Moya Rotham, Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, CFBC, on Wednesday's edition of Working for You.
We are asking that there is a greater level of diligence as it relates to mapping courses and subjects onto careers. So if they want to do architecture, they need to do physics. So it makes no sense saying to them, oh, physics is hard. You need to understand what it is you want to do and how much work you're willing to put into it.
The higher level critical thinking projects such as history and foreign languages are not readily embraced by some incoming students, the Vice President indicated. Dr. Rotham mentioned that courses, even those with more technical requirements, are changing. Youth-led non-profit organization Poise SKN hosted its annual recital on Sunday at Carnival Village, dubbed Take Me to Church. The annual event, which had been delayed in 2020 and 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, featured the work and talent of 150 of the Federation's youth, predominantly under the age of 25. The theatrical production included aerial silk, aerial hoop, pole dances, and appearances by the Axonic Flow Band. According to the Institute's founder and creative director, Desi Brown, this year's recital used entertainment and education to focus attention on several issues plaguing young people. The money earned from this fundraiser will assist the Institute with purchasing and outfitting a dance studio with training equipment for all departments within the Institute of Dance, as well as contributing to the travel of 4 of its aerialists to receive professional training at the Phoenix Aerial Arts in Houston, Texas from August 20th to 28th. Come up in regional news, Finnish company and Antigua and Barbuda discontinue Sargassum program.